I'd appreciate it if you can give me a few minutes of your time today so I can reintroduce you to my D. Now, many of us aren't going to need an introduction to my D. You all know it's big, it's plump, it's round, it's bold, and it just fills out your hand, and you can really keep your hands on it all day. But when I first covered my new D, I honestly didn't recommend it, but my opinion has honestly changed quite a bit. I'm honestly using my D a whole lot more now. And I know what some of you are gonna say. How much did Glorious pay him for this video? This video is sponsored by Glorious. Well, let me clear that up for you. It's actually sponsored by Corsair and their new M75 Air. So would you like to find some more information about the Corsair M75 Air? The links will be right down in the description. So now that we're clear that Glorious is not paying for my D, let me talk about why my opinion has changed here. So when I first covered my new D, y'all know the one big flaw for me was this side. It just bulged out a little bit right there, kind of caught on my finger whenever I was using it, and it just didn't feel comfortable. Again, my finger kept sliding up there and feeling like I was going to get cut. So I shaved it down actually, and you can see I shaved a hole in my mouse because it is quite thin there. Now that lip is pretty much gone and it feels good. You honestly never see it because it's on the side, but it was eating away at me knowing that I shaved and I got this janky mouse over here, that was really not sitting well with me. So I got a new Model D over here, this one you're seeing here. And let me tell you what, that lip is still there, but not near as significant as this one. So that can go into play with Glorious in their QC issues they're known for, right? And they're kind of hit or miss. Do you get a good one? Do you get a bad one? Do you get a faulty one? And that is upsetting. I agree with you guys as a consumer. But again, no fluff here. Glorious with their 2-year warranty, it's almost like, well, let me give it a shot, you know what I mean? And now that I have this one, I find myself, again, just coming back to the D, and I just can't let it go. I want to keep it in my hands. And why that is because it's a Zowie EC clone. This is tried and true. This is one of the prime shapes right here. If you've never used it, I'm sorry, I feel bad for you, but I'm sure a lot of you have used a D before, and that is exactly what the Zowie EC is right here. When you put this in your hand, it feels so darn good. You all have heard me talk about using the Death Adder, the V3 Pro as my main, or the wired one actually, but it doesn't have the grooves on the side. You see it on both of these mice right here, how it slopes in a little bit, same over here on a D. So you got a little bit more of that flicking and dipping right here. Again, your fingers are gonna get locked in there. When on the Death Adder, it's a little bit more straight. So whenever you start flicking it, your fingers are gonna slide a little bit more. So as we all know, shape is king. And yes, Zowie owns that. But a clone, as much as we all want to hate on them, this does it. So on that point there, I know I'm kind of kicking myself, right? Y'all know clones are not my thing. I like fresh innovation within tech. But Zowie, they just, I don't know, they just want to stay behind. As good and great as this product is, the Glorious one feels that much better in the hand. And that is primarily due to weight. And I'm not one to sit here and harp on lightweight mice by any means, but you're seeing over here on the Zowie, 77.6. Slapping a Glorious one on over here, we're getting 63.4. Not a massive difference, but still enough where you truly feel it in your hand and as far as gameplay. And on top of all that, the new optical switches they're using here, ah, man, they feel phenomenal. They're not too firm. They're not too light. They're right in the middle. The side buttons are bold and crispy as well. And the scroll wheel, I gotta say, Glorious does one of the best scroll wheels out there. I absolutely love it. And right in line with the same point of me not harping on weight, talking about my new D being faster as far as 4K wireless and 8K wired, I state a lot of times, it's not a massive thing. It shouldn't be your selling point. But yes, me testing one to the other, I noticed a difference. Is it gonna win you games? No, it's not. It's more or less when you're browsing right on your core computer, on your main screen, you're gonna notice a difference. In the game, you got so much guffs going on. But again, me as a tech nerd, I want the best of the best, and I will tell you, the performance of this is butter smooth. So yeah, I am gonna say it. The Glorious Model D Pro is going to be my main. Hopefully you get one that's a little bit better like this. If not, send it in and get yourself a different one. But the performance and everything about this, the bold, the shape, the smoothness, again, you're not going to want to get my D out of your hands.